Hey guys, I'm Cameron from Cameron Bullard Photo. I had a couple of people asking about how I'd done a few of the things in the video I made for promoting the new logo. So I kind of wanted to just go over that. I think it's really exciting that I had some people asking questions, and this is what I've wanted for a while. It's just conversating, just having conversations start about photography or video, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the camera movement, which was my favorite part of the entire thing. I don't have a dolly, I don't have a gimbal or anything like that. What I'd use was I had set my tripod on top of a blanket and just pulled it either back or forward, whatever I wanted to do for either the push in or the pull back. What really helped with keeping everything steady and kind of like the same speed was to kind of like push down on the tripod. Not really push down, but kind of have a little bit of weight on the tripod to keep it steadily moving one direction. And for the shots I kind of had the upward tilt, that one was a little bit more tricky because I'd have hands on the lever for the tripod to tilt it upwards and sliding the tripod either to the side or backwards. So the way I'd done that was I just put one of my feet on the end of the blanket and one hand on the arm for the tripod and just tilted it up or down and scooted the tripod to one side with my foot. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the lighting. All of the lighting in it was just natural lighting. I am not a huge fan of artificial lighting. So the kitchen shot, the shot of the pictures on the table, and the living room shot were all done during golden hour. That way they had that nice golden glow to everything, and they had that kind of like that low angle of light coming through the windows. Now the shots on the shelf, I couldn't do that at the same time because the sun was not coming through those windows the right way because it's on a different part of the house. And I tried artificially lighting it, but I wasn't a big fan of how it turned out, so I decided to just wait until the next morning to shoot during the sunrise to get that nice kind of like backlight look. And then I just color corrected in post to match. I did have someone asking if I had used a Pro Mist filter or if I used halation in post to get that kind of like nice bloom around the light and that hazy look, but it was actually just canned haze. I don't have a Pro Mist filter for the lens I was using, so I opted to go with the canned haze, and they're fairly cheap. I had a pack of, I think it was 5 or 6, and I bought it on Amazon for like $30. If I remember correctly, it might be more, might be less. I can't remember exactly how much, but I'll post a link in the description and an actual price on the video here later. Really quick side note, I was just thinking, people are going to think like, why wouldn't he just go to a Halloween store and buy a fog machine that is much cheaper than a hazer? The difference, there's a pretty large difference between haze and fog. Fog, you can spray into the air, but eventually it's all going to come down to the floor because it's more dense than haze. So it's going to stay down low on the floor. It's not going to catch the light. With haze, is the exact opposite. It lingers in the air. If you're in like an enclosed area, it's much easier to control as well, like in a house. Now, if I was to be outside filming something like this, then yeah, I'd probably go something with a hazer or a fog machine. But in this instance, the canned haze worked perfectly for me. So we're gonna go back to that more awkward version of me now. So yeah, that's all I used for the lighting was just canned haze. Nothing really too special there. With canned haze, you gotta kind of, whenever you spray it, you have to fan it a little bit to kind of disperse it because it does look a little clumpy whenever it first hangs in the air in the room. But after it disperses, it kind of creates this really nice, smooth look. So next, the gear I used, I wasn't really too much. All I had was my tripod, my Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera, cinema camera, and the lens I used was a 16mm Sigma art lens. The contemporary lens is from Micro Four Thirds, which are about a 32 equivalent to full frame, and it's a 1.4 aperture or 2.8 equivalent to full frame. So that basically wraps it all up. It wasn't really that much of a complicated shoot, just a little bit of budget filmmaking, I guess I could say. So I appreciate you guys watching, and again, thank you so much for the questions. I've always kind of been excited about doing that kind of thing. So if you guys have any more questions about how I do either my photography or video, please just ask, and I'll be more than happy to make something for it. So thanks for watching again. I'll see you in the next one.